you on Friday, Natu. Where
Yeah,
were you?
Mari
I was
told
sad.
me. Mari told me that everyone was calling your name the whole class. I'm so sorry, guys. I was caught up. I'm so sorry.
I didn't miss you, Natu.
I know you miss me, Anita.
I did not miss you.
I know you miss me. Mr. Patrick, you didn't miss me?
I wasn't there either.
Hey, all the noisemakers were not there.
No, I wasn't there. Yeah.
Pat, c'est comment?
Hey, grand, ça va?
Ça va, ça va.
Okay, so we are going to start because we actually have a lot to do. And you guys know that in the evening, the server gets really slow. So I don't want you guys to be missing out on all that we did. So actually, Anita, did you see that cloning went through? What is the cloning that we did last time? Recovery for your TLS demo?
Oh my gosh, Emerald. I have not opened my database since Friday.
Really? Anita?
Yeah. I'm
Wow.
sorry, this weekend was like really busy for me.
Okay.
I know. But the assignment is due on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, the assignment 8 is due on Wednesday.
Okay.
But we'll do assignment 7 and 8 that we did, and we'll do the backup-based duplication as well. This morning we did both, so we should be able to do both today. But I know that many people are not connecting, so I'm going to start with creating the scripts first. So this is what we did with the morning class. I'm not going to use their script. Koji, where have you been all this time?
My laptop was bad.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it was bad. It was really fucked up. So, how have you been?
I've been good by the grace of God.
Amen. I'm happy to be here though.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you here too.
Okay, cool.
You guys miss classes. I don't like when some people miss classes. I just feel bad. Like I feel like you guys are missing a lot, and I know you guys can. You guys have so much potential. So
Yeah, I've really missed a lot.
Okay. So we are going to do the weekend assignment. We're going to do it this time, except, okay, let me, this. So we are going to do it again together. I'll try to be a little bit faster, but if you have question at any moment, please stop me and just ask your question. Make sure you ask your question, okay? So we will do the whole thing, and then we'll do the active backup-based duplication, which is like cloning with RMAN. Okay, so let's start. We are starting now. I'm sorry many people are not connected yet, but we have to start. First question is create a global script including a whole database backup strategy. So we are going to use a run block for that. I'm going to allocate the channels. At any time, just make sure you ask questions. I'm going to allocate 3 channels. Hello, Bibish, how are you doing?
Hi, Emerald. I'm doing good.
Good.
Long time.
Yes. Barely talk, but I know you're always connected.
Yeah, sometime I'm not there when I have something to do.
Hi, Bibish.
Hi, Natu, long time.
I'm telling you.
Oh my God, maybe we're gonna meet one day.
Yeah, Corona. Sure.
After Corona.
Okay, so I'm going to put the backups in /78/oradata/78 back, and that's where the backup are going to. And I'm gonna add that log format. You can stop me at any time. I'm going kind of fast for this because we already did it last time. But if there's something that that's not clear, you can always ask. Okay, so basically this morning, we found out that backup has copy. What else is missing? Found format.
/oradata/global.
So, Emerald, the last time we did the copy for database plus archive log, is it the same thing like what you just, the 2 separate one?
When you just, I mean, in the question wasn't asking specifically where to put it. So when you put backup as copy database plus archive log format, so you're sending the archive log in that specific directory, but you're sending the database backup in the default, so FRA.
Okay.
Emerald, but that 78 back come from where?
I'm about to create it.
Okay.
Let me create it now before I run it when it's not there.
Emerald,
Yes.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Sorry, I'm just meeting you now.
You were supposed to say good afternoon, class, not Emerald.
Okay, good. Well, good afternoon, class. not to my sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, we thank God.
That's how you
Emerald,
come and disgrace me in front of people
no.
that don't teach manner at homes.
So Emerald.
Yes.
So you say when you do backup as copy database format or data 78 back. So you say the database is going to be stored in FIA?
Yes, if you don't specify the format, right?
Mm.
Yeah, if you put backup as copy database and then you put plus archive log, you're sending the archive logs in slash
To the
minus
same
slash.
directory? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But the database itself, backup is sent to FRA. But here
FRA.
it wasn't specified, so you could have done it however you wanted. But in that case, I just want everything to be in the same place. Also,
Okay.
backup as copy SP file is useless. It would always do a backup. It would never do an image copy backup. So that's why last time when we tried to use this backup, you remember when we tried to use the SP file backup, it didn't go through because it was actually a backup set, and you know that you cannot read backup set. Only our man would be able to know how to change the backup set to make it look like the way it originally was. So even if you put backup as copy SP file, it would still backup as backup set, basically. Are we good?
Okay, yeah.
So, Emerald, which question are we now?
What
Oh, we
question
are start,
one?
question one. But
Yeah.
we start doing this the last class, right?
Yes, but I want us to do it again because, like I told you last time, those things we are doing right now are kind of a bit hard, but once you get it, you get it. Like, and those will be your day-to-day activities. You will have to create scripts like this at work. And I wasn't going to give you all of this. Normally, I wanted to give less, but because of my friend, I told you he got a job in DB2 from my class. He got a job in DB2. Wow. And these are the things that he's doing. And last class, last Thursday, while we were working together on some of the stuff that he was seeing at work. So I was like, okay, let me just bring it to you guys, that you guys, I mean, you never know. One of you can get a job like next week. We never know. You never know about life.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Auntie Emma.
I'm not your auntie. Not your auntie. Okay.
Like that, these Kumba children, now you're calling your small sister auntie.
You know, the fact when you're gaining a knowledge from someone, the person is never small, right?
Yes, that's true.
That doesn't mean he's your auntie.
No, it's my auntie.
She can be your child.
No.
It's my auntie.
Not sure. I'm not that young. Come on. Come on, Nacho. I'm not that young.
He's very old. You don't know. He did. Do you know Kuba birth certificate? Go there and you want a birth certificate that shows that you're 5 years old. They're gonna give you.
So can you do question 1 and 2 at the same time?
Yes, you
can you like allocate the channels and then run the first script, then the second script, then you release the channels?
Yes. You mean, can you execute, but that's question 3, right?
Yeah, I mean, like if you can combine them.
Yes, execute both at the same time. Yes, you can do that.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Okay.
Emerald, I faced one problem, you know. I was trying to back up from the catalog archive. So I tried to lost my the system file, but really I didn't know about it. I didn't really see the procedure. So I went to the video. I was trying to check on the video. So class, I really don't know the number of the video, because if anybody who knows about, because I went to the chapter 6, the Arman on the video, I really can't find that. So if anybody knows about where we can have the video, where we can, when you lost it, like your system file or sysox file, the table space, then you can recover it using Arman from the catalog. Please just help me.
Actually, we are doing it today. This is like question, I know we are switching to copy. But it's basically almost the same.
Okay, thank you.
Will be something similar, except I will switch to copy. Okay, so now we are going to cross-check the archive logs. You understand what cross-check means, right?
Yes.
No.
What does it mean? Someone said yes.
Cross-check if everything is okay.
Can you be more specific, please?
It's compare what you have in the backups.
Right, it's to compare what you have either in the control files or in the recovery catalog. You compare it to what you have physically, right? So basically, Arman doesn't know automatically. For example, if you go and you delete your archive logs, Arman wouldn't know automatically that you just deleted some archive log or some backups. It's only by cross-checking that Arman would know, okay, those ones were deleted, or those ones have become obsolete, and then you can delete expired, basically. So without cross-checking, Arman wouldn't be able to know which one are expired. Are we good?
Yeah.
Question.
Sorry. More. Okay, delete obsolete. Yes?
The
Yes.
first command, when you run this command is and the full database backup.
Mm-hmm.
I need to have just very clear. Is it full database backup or is it incremental level 0?
This is full database backup. When you don't specify, it's full database backup.
Okay. Thank you.
You could, I mean, it's your backup strategy. So in that, we will be seeing like incremental level 1, 0 when we'll be working on I think chapter 9 or 10. We'll be doing more of that. But in that case, if you wanted, you could have put level 0 incremental and level 1 if you wanted to, right? But in that case, we don't need to do that because we just need to do one backup basically.
One backup. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so we are done. Now we are going to create the scripts and store the script somewhere. So I'm going to need a student ID. Make sure database is up and running.
144.
Brian.
Yes, boss.
Oh,
you have ARCAD. You have ARCAD.
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, so we are going to store the script, both script. This is global, this is local. So for question 3, I'm going to create script. I'm going to name it evening underscore. I'm going to start with the local. Evening underscore local. Then put the backup, cross check. Then close. And then I'm going to create a global script. Now for a script to be global, you need to specify it. And any other database connected to the recovery catalog can use it. Or if you like it better, register. I'm going to okay, so here we have a whole database backup, and here we have cross-checking and deleting and stuff. So just connect to Arman. What's your password?
Or Arman Brontech 1 / Arman Brontech 1.
So we are going to create the first script, the local script, and then the global script. If you have any question at any time, just ask.
So you basically starting on number 3.
Excuse me?
Why are you creating the script first before doing number 1 and 2?
I already did 1 and 2. I just created them. Those are the scripts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are the scripts. Now, in question 3, I'm saying that I store those scripts in the recovery catalog.
Oh.
So they're already created, but it doesn't tell you where to keep them. So you can just create them and put them in your notepad.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a global script, and question 3 says to store the script in the recovery catalog and run the script until it's demo. So now I'm going to run the script, and I'm going to use the run command. And I'm going to execute script evening underscore global. And okay, actually, I want to change the retention policy first. I need to change it to redundancy 3 or 4. Okay, what time is it right now? It's 6. Okay, let me check what time is it on your server. Okay, I'll do that after the backup. So we'll do a point in time recovery to that specific. Okay, now I'm going to run the script, execute, and this is for the global script, cross-checking and all that. Okay, release channel. You can also use no prompt if you don't want to have to put yes, for example, but we'll be doing more of that for all chapters. But the most important here is that we can actually at least going to run the second one, the global script now. So execute.
Could you have put just the both execute in script 1?
Yeah, I could have done that. We could have done that too. But I wanted us to see, for example, if one fails and there is an error, you see, one fail. No search file. Okay, I forgot to create 78 back. I would forget. Create it. Let's connect back to our man. Now the thing here, okay, the channel were released. Good. Let me run this again. Global script. And once we are done, we are going to go and check the backup that we are doing and see how it's going. It's going good or not. That backup was really fast. Now we are going to go check in /oradata/78 back. See what's going on there. We want to see image copy backups and everything. Let's see if we have everything. We have these two. These two look like we have our control files here. We have our data files. We have our archive logs. Okay, so everything was backed up. This morning we did the same thing, but the SP file wasn't backed up and the control file was not backed up, so we did it again. So always come back and check your backup. Apparently, as part of DB2, they have a lot of backups that fail from time to time, and sometimes they have to figure out why backup would fail and how to fix the issue or how to try to find a way around it.
So if you have one that it did not back up, you run all the script again?
No, you don't run the whole thing. You just run what is missing, what was not backed up. Right? For example, you know that in the script, you know that in the script you had, for example, here we can see all the data files, right? Image. But if you don't have the control file, you notice that the control files are missing, but you have everything else, then you can only just back up the control files. Because backing up the whole database like that, the full database like that, it takes a lot of resources.
With CF_D is control file?
Yes.
And where is the log?
Backup logs that way.
They're in the archive?
Yes.
Okay.
And here with this SP file.
Emerald, you always use this word that it takes a lot of resources. How is the resources going to affect me if I'm backing it? Is it going to cut my money?
It's going to make your database slow.
Those two above
Get your money.
are the SP file. So if you don't have those two above, it means you didn't back up the SP file.
Yes.
Yeah.
Normally it should only be one. I don't know. I'm not sure why they backed up twice. Or maybe because I canceled the first one and I run it again. But normally it should have been only once, one SP, but it backed up twice. For whatever reason, but it's fine. And those SP files cannot be used, even though you know it's SP file and we could have given it the name SP file. You cannot use that SP file and replace it with the real SP file, right? Because it's a backup set. Okay.
So Emerald, that 78 is what? I need to know.
Which 78?
You say 78 back.
Oh, 78 is because it's for as chapter 7 and 8, basically.
Okay.
So this is the same thing I did with the morning for chapter 7 and 8. You see assignment 7 and 8. So that's why I named it 7 and 8. Okay. So now we are going to crash Natu's database.
Why are you crashing it?
It's part of the assignment. Okay, so we are going to remove the sysocs and the system. We are going to remove both. And then we are going to switch to copy. It's scary to remove both, right? Kind of.
No, you can bring it back by Aman.
You see, you guys can handle it now. But in DB1, hey, God. But now it's good. Okay. So connected to target database and to the recovery catalog. So after deleting data file 1 and 2, perform a switch to copy, then switch back to original once the restoration is done. Right? Going to switch to copy. Considering the fact that the database is still open, we need to shut down our board. We cannot put system offline, right? All the databases is up. Are you good? So now the database is shut down. What's the next step?
Startup mount.
Right, startup mount.
So are you doing are you doing number 4?
Yes. Switch to copy. This is number 4 right here. That's why I put the question on top of the screen. Okay, so considering the fact that the database is mounted, I don't need to put it offline. If it was a non-system data file, system data file, non-critical, and the only 2 critical data files that you have are system and undo. So even for sysocs, you can put sysocs offline if you want to, right? So we are going to switch both data files to copy.
What does that mean, Emerald?
That's why I was crying when you were not here on Friday.
No, you cannot.
I what?
Now let me reserve it.
Say it.
Now, I wanted to say because I wasn't there on Friday as well. I'm just matter of fact now. I'm just viewing.
Oh, okay. So let me explain then. Basically, right?
Yes.
In a real work environment, you're not dealing with 700 megabyte files, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're dealing with 40 megabyte, 50 gigabytes, 50 gigabyte. That's 20 times bigger than the whole database that we're dealing with right now. And let's say you can even have 100 gigabyte data size of data file. So can you imagine recovering a data file like that? And let's say it's a user data file. So it's not critical, but it's critical to the company, even though it wouldn't crash your database because it's gone or it's corrupt, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you would lose a lot of money by not having it up and running. Are we good?
Yep.
No.
Okay. Why you say no?
Yeah, I don't get it. Like you said, in a working environment, we have
Yes.
a 50.
In a real work environment, we are
Yeah.
not dealing with our database here. I think it's 2.5 gigabyte, the size, the older data file, the physical size. But in a real work environment, you're dealing with 1 terabyte database, 1.5 terabyte database.
Okay.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can have one data file that's 100 gigabyte.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Which is like 50 times bigger than our entire database that we're dealing with right now.
Yes.
So as a DBA, let's say a user's data file crashes, and let's say you work for Walmart or Amazon or a company or Bank of America. You cannot afford to have the system down or a data file gone for a long time. You have to take care of that as soon as possible. Like within 5 minutes, you need to fix that problem, right?
Yes.
So instead of restoring, you know that if you restore system users, it would take you something like 2 hours. So you'd have customers waiting for 2 hours to have access to their data.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine? So for you to avoid that, you can just switch to a copy. You can just switch that file to a copy and then recover. And that file will be back online in no time. The good thing with switch data file to copy is that it doesn't matter of the size. It will switch to copy and
in other words, switch a data file to copy is just a faster means of recovery.
Okay. No, it's not recovering. You're switching it to copy. You didn't recover it.
Oh, okay.
It's not recover. You switch the live location, the backup. You turn the backup location into a live location for that specific file. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So that I'm giving you like real scenarios examples, so that when you're done with that quick fix, then at night you can restore the real data file now and recover it and put it back on. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Right. So this is basically to avoid downtime. And if system is the one crashed, that you even have to really switch to copy because system is big and it can crash your database. So you don't want to be restoring system for 2 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
And yes, yes.
Amira, please just screw it up. Let me see something before connecting to the recovery catalog.
Sure. Before?
Yeah. Did you remove any file? Okay, you remove the system and the CSOX. Okay.
Yes, I removed system and CSOX.
Okay.
Okay, so I switch. Yes.
No, I say similar what I was doing today.
Okay. Except that here we are switching to copy. The other thing that you do is basically the same, right? Except that instead of switching to copy, you choose to restore. For data for chapter 5, we restore it.
Yeah, we restore it.
We restore it.
So, Emma, how did you know it was data file 1 or data file 2?
Because system and CSOC are always 1 and 2.
He said in the question now.
So Emerald, I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Like when you restore the database, when you restoring the database, like what SQL statement? Please just can you reflect me on the SQL statement you used to restore?
Restore is just copy, right?
Copy,
You mean
CP.
restore or recover?
Okay, you just copy like from this to this.
Yes, and you need to make sure the database is shut down if you want to copy your system. Restore.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So it must be. Can it be on the mount mode?
If it's a critical file.
It can be
If it's a
mounted.
critical file,
It can be mounted. It can be mounted. When it's mounted, it's offline anyway.
Okay. I really need to. Yeah, it's okay.
Are we good? So if in this case, right, we choose to switch to copy, right?
Yes.
Because it saves time. Your database wouldn't be down. You won't have. Some people have like. I remember my teacher DB2. She was used to work at a store, a grocery store somewhere, and she was like, the whole store was down. Like the whole system was down for like 4 hours. And she was like, I'm sure the DBAs got fired. You see? So you can be working for like a company like this, like you can afford to have the system down for 4 hours. You have to fix this. You know, it pays well, right? But it also comes with kind of some stress. But if you know what you're doing, if you know how to prevent those things, right? As soon as you say, oh, it's done, let me just switch to copy. And you quickly switch to copy and that's the problem solved. But if you don't have any copy, then you have to restore. So that's why you have issues like the system is on for 4 hours and people are losing a lot of money, right? Like imagine a grocery store like Giant or Walmart or all those stores or Aldi. You can use your job easily like that just because you chose to restore instead of switching to copy, for example, right? So that's the good advantage of switch to copy. It doesn't matter how big the file is. It will just switch to that copy. The only thing that will take you a while will be to recover. So let's recover. And even recover might take you just 4 minutes, 5 minutes, even less than that, depending on the size and on the latest backup that you have. So within 5 minutes, your database will be back up. And you can go back to sleep. So recover data file 1 and 2. Finish recover. So we are done. Data file 1 and 2 are recovered. So we are done with that part. Then switch back once the restoration is done. Okay, so now that we are done, we want to, I want to show you guys that again. Actually, I need to open database. Enter database open. Okay, so I want to show you guys. I know that the guys from last class saw it, but I want to show it again. Okay, you guys see the live location right now, right?
Oh.
Right.
So system is now in /radida/78 back. So we didn't restore it. That's why you can see that this is still the backup file. Are we fine?
Yes.
And it's the same for this one as well. Basically the same. Oh my goodness, I forgot to take the time. Look when it's on recovery. It's okay, I'll just do another backup. Okay, so /radar/TLSDMO, you see that everything else is in /radar/TLSDMO, and here we have this one is in /radar/78 back. So remember that I'll come back to it later.
So
Yes.
That's the new live location.
Exactly. Yes. Those two files, that directory is now part of the live location. So when we are going to do the backup based duplication, if the database remains in that state, you will have to add that directory in the P file. We'll see that later for DB file and convert. But just remember those two. I'll come back to it later. So, okay, now you want to switch back to the original, right? So let's switch back. Let's exit and connect back to online. connected to target database, TLSDMO, connected to recovery catalog database. So we are basically going to do the same thing, except that here you want to make sure we back up, copy. Oh yes, it has to be copy. You have to, the backup has to be as copy. It wouldn't work with backup set. You cannot switch to copy to backup set. Are we good?
Yes.
Backup as copy data file 1 and 2 format. Data slash
78 back. Data underscore D underscore TLSDMO.
I want to directly give it the name that it had. So slash raw data slash TLSDMO slash system 1.dbf. And then we are going to do the same for data file 2. What is it saying? Starting the data file copy complete. The last time. Okay. Starting the file copy, current control file. Already exists. Okay. So sometimes it would give that error. It would run the same thing twice. So don't worry about that. As long as the backup is done, you can see here data file copy complete. That's what we need to worry about. So I'm going to do the same thing for system for CSOX. CSOX.dbf. I know it's CSOX. I'm going to change the name back to CSOX01.dbf. I want to show that there are 2 ways to do it. This is one way to do it the way we did it, right? We back up as copy data file to format. But there is also another way to do it. Instead of doing it with Arman, switching it back to the original, we could just have renamed the copy to slash writer slash TLSDMO slash CSOX. Okay, so backup as copy data file is done. Now we are going to switch. Actually,
Is the same? Is 6OS the same as 6001?
no. Yes, it's the same. It's the same file. It's just I gave you a different name for us to do the other thing that we could have done instead of doing the same thing back again. We could just have renamed the backup to system 01 and to system and to CSOX 01. So that's why I gave it a different name like that. Start mount. Okay, so database is mounted. Now we are going to switch the file 1 and 2 copy. So you guys can see that those files we have right here, slash oradata slash TLSDMO slash TLSDMO slash system, they are both backups, basically.
They are backup how? Like backup in a new location, in the live location or how?
Right, exactly. They are backups, even though they are in the
live location.
New location, yes. Also, over file 1 and 2. You can open the database. See how fast that is? But if you have to recover and do all that, it would take you much, much, much longer. So database is open now, but let's go to SQL.
So Amara, you said this is a full database backup, right?
Yes.
So it has nothing to do whether it's cold or hot backup.
Doesn't have to do with what?
I'm saying it doesn't have anything to do with cold or hot backup.
No, full backup is Arman. Full Arman backup.
I know. So are the files online, or you don't really look into that?
Which files?
Like how we are doing hot backup now, remember?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's online. It's a Arman hard backup since the database is up.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, now I'm going to change it to CSOX, and we are going to do it later. So instead of doing what we did earlier, right? Going to Arman and switching it back, we could just have renamed the file, the backup file into CSOX01.dbf, right? And then we connect back to Arman.
I think that's the best way. Just
Yeah. Okay. Which one is the best way?
the one to rename.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fast.
Yes, it's fast. I think it's fast too. So alter database, data file to offline. Now that it's offline, we are going to rename it. Alter database. And we're going to put the path of CSOX, the first CSOX that we had. Okay. So strings CSOX01.dbf. Alter database, rename, get a file. Wait, file.
Emerald, quick question. Why do you rename SixHawks?
I renamed it because I changed the name, right? I said that the other way to do it. Okay, the database altered. I said that you saw earlier. Okay, let me come back to explaining why I'm doing this. Okay, you saw that here, right?
Yes.
We have slash data slash, yes.
The backup.
That was the backup, yes. We didn't have to go to Arman to take another backup and to switch to copy. That was optional option. That was an option. But we had another option, and I'm giving you that other option. So instead of going back to Arman, you could just have moved those two. That's a quick fix too. You move those two to /TLSDM, and then you rename them, just like we just renamed them here, right?
Right.
And then you put it back online. I think it would ask for recovery. Okay. Recover data file too. Okay, and then we put it back online. That one is fast too, right? Very fast. And then if we select name from $, data file, data. See that it's back to normal, right? Are we good? So you had two options. Either you can go back to Arman, switch to copy, or you can just rename the file that was switched to copy. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
We are going to do the renaming again.
Emerald, if you want to rename, will you copy the whole of the backup location to rename it?
Excuse me?
I say if you want to rename it like what you're doing, we just need to follow the same step, like copy the whole of the backup location, right?
Right.
DB.
Let me just. I'm going to run it again because actually I don't need to. Let's just just everything back it was before.
Emerald, what happened if you don't rename it? If
No,
you leave the copy of the
you can leave it like that, right? But the thing is that you want to make sure that you can have a backup of it, basically.
Okay.
But you don't have to. Okay, so we are done with that question. I'm not going to do another backup. Whatever happens, happens. I changed the retention policy, so it's good. The more troubleshooting we do, the better. So after deleting data file 1 and 2, perform a switch to copy, then switch back to original ones. Okay, this is what we did. Now, question 5. Simulate a complete media failure. Delete P file, SP file, and delete all the database files. So Nat, are you ready? Okay.
Emerald, you say earlier you forgot to do the point in time recovery.
What do you mean?
I mean,
We are going to do the point in time recovery right now, actually.
That was what you said, and you say, what do you mean?
Question 5, simulate a complete failure. So let's remove everything. That end with what's left, DBF.
DBF.
And then release, we only have assignment 7 per assignment 7. Okay. So now we are going to remove the control file, the P file, and the SP file. So CD Oracle _ home DBS. Listed. We are going to remove file. Then we are going to remove P file. Oh, they are both gone now. And then that's it. The database is crashed now. There's nothing we can do about it. Okay. So we are done with question 5. Question 5 was basically just to crash the database.
Crash is an understatement.
Okay, now question 6. We're almost done. Using Arman, perform a point in time recovery to 10 minutes earlier to restore and recover the database. Actually, okay. We just recover it to 3 p.m. today or yesterday, today. Okay, using Arman, perform a point in time recovery to 10 minutes earlier to restore and recover the database. So we are going to do a point in time recovery. But before that, we need to connect to Arman. Let's connect to Arman and see what Arman says. Cannot open the specifier control.
Tomorrow, where are you typing for those things to come back?
The arrow.
Up and down arrow.
Yes.
So it works on PuTTY?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was only on VNC.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Okay.
they work everywhere, even at their job site.
Don't say that. You never. It might not work there. Okay. So, okay, we cannot connect to Arman. So what we want to do is connect to database and shut down our board. Don't have any other option anyway. I'll shut it down. Now let's try to connect to Arman. Connected to target database. Database not started, right? But the problem with that is, let me open a new duplicate session.
Excuse me.
Emerald, we can shut it down from Alman directly.
You couldn't
You
connect.
can't even connect to
how
Arman in the first place. Okay, let me show you again. Maybe you didn't see. You put Arman target to connect, right? What does it say? Initialization.
Yeah.
We couldn't even connect to Arman.
Yeah, it's true.
So I'm going to show you guys something. Okay, connected to recovery catalog, but you see that it says connected to target database not started. So it doesn't know which database we are connected to. Arman doesn't know. Arman is like, cannot know if you're connected to, Arman can only read if the instance is started. If the instance is not there, Arman wouldn't know. So even though it says connected to target database, but Arman doesn't know which database it is. Are we good?
Right.
So now we want to restore the SP file, right? Let's try to restore the SP file and see what it says. Restore SP file. Doesn't go through, right? Let's restore SP file from auto backup. Restore SP file from auto backup. It doesn't go through, right? Whatever you're going to put there, it's not going to recognize because shared memory RAM does not exist. Arman doesn't know anything about that database. So what are we going to do? We are going to connect to the recovery catalog, RCAT. And we are going to connect. It's Arman, Brontech 1, right? Slash Arman, Tech 1. Okay. Now that we are connected to the recovery catalog, we're going to list the databases. So list DB underscore unique underscore name. Oh, okay. Apparently she didn't register the other databases. Not true. Okay, but thank God she has TLS demo. Thank God it was not ORCL. So what we are looking for here is basically the DB ID. This is what we are looking for, right? Considering the fact that you can see that here we are connected to the recovery catalog, right?
Right.
You see, that's a good example when the recovery catalog is actually really good because we are connected to it. So instead of going to look in the trace file, in the alert log, right? You can just recreate it from here, from the recovery catalog. So we have the DB unique name, the DB ID. So let's copy the DB ID. And now we are going to connect to Arman using that DB ID. We are going to set that DB ID. So set DB ID. Okay. Now Arman knows that we just set the database to TLS demo.
Okay.
Right? And the DB ID is the one. Are we following?
Yes.
Okay, so now Arman knows that we are connected to TLS demo. Arman didn't know. Are we good? Okay.
So why was it how was it connected?
What do you mean?
For the DB ID.
You connected using the
Yes, it says
catalog, right?
connected to target database, but it says not started.
Exactly.
So it wouldn't tell you which database it is. But even when the instance is started, it will tell you connected to target database TLS demo instance not started, basically, right? To tell you that it's not mounted yet, but at least the instance is started. But here, it doesn't. The database is literally shut down, so Arman doesn't know which database it is, because it doesn't have information about that database. However, the information about that database are kept in the recovery catalog, right? So when you set the DB ID to TLS DMO, now Arman sees that, okay, I'm connected as TLS to TLS DMO. Does it make sense?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm going to start up, force, no mount. I'm going to force Arman to start up the database by using the information that the recovery catalog has. You see, it says could not open parameter file /user1/app because it's not there, we just removed it. Starting Oracle instance without parameter file for retrieval of SP file, Oracle instance started. So now we are ready to restore SP file. Let's restore it. Restore SP file. See, done. So the SP file is restored, right? So now we can connect. Thank you, Arman, for helping us. Now we can connect back to TLS demo and create P file from SP. Now the SP file is created, the P file, the SP file is there, the P file is there. Now, what's the next step?
We cover the data file.
Before we come to the data file, the database is not mounted.
Yeah.
Oh, can I please get code?
Of course you can. You're recording a bit late, but okay.
It's loving.
Want to record in the middle of, okay, let me just. I don't see you. Did you change your name?
Yes, Keda.
Kelderisa?
Is that your wife?
Keda.
Kelda?
Yep.
Okay, Kelderisa. Okay, whatever.
Why
Yes, that's
Nyangara.
allow record. Let me just allow record at this point. Okay. That was you, right?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, okay.
Brian, your question is heard and ignored.
Okay, so the instance is started. What's the next step? I know you guys know that.
Put it on mount mode.
Yes, want to mount it, but how are we going to mount with our control files? Can you mount with our control files?
Yes, you can.
Really?
I mean,
Really?
the last time I checked.
Where did you check that? Where did you check that you could mount with our control file? I want to know. I'm actually curious.
When I was doing the call backup and recover it.
So you mount your database without control files?
Yeah, I actually deleted it and I put it on mount mode. No, excuse me, I recovered it before.
Here we go, chop sword.
Anyway, if there is a way to mount database without control file, just let me know and give me the source, because I know that you cannot mount the database without control files. It's because the control file contains the structure of the database. So if you find a way.
Forget about Bello, Ebero. Let's go.
Come on, what do you mean forget about app? Anyways, I'm saying what I know.
Just put it somewhere and show us next time, okay?
Okay, cool.
Maybe you did. I want to see that.
But don't call me on that though.
Okay. So now we are going to restore.
That is exactly what I was saying.
Yeah, tell your voices are commercial.
No, we restore them before we recover now.
Exactly. You want to restore first. Maybe you restore the database, you restore the control files before mounting.
Yes, that's what I was saying. I actually restored it, then I put it on a mount mode.
Exactly. This is what we are trying to do here too,
okay.
Right? We want to restore the control file. Okay. Restore control file from, you can use from auto backup, and if from auto backup doesn't give you what you want, you can just put the exact place where your control files are located. Okay, perfect, actually. No auto backup found. This is what I want to see. Yes.
When you say auto backup, is it the directory you created or?
No, it's auto backup. Sometimes if you set it right, Arman will just auto backup. Every time you run, like you backup something, Arman will just auto backup the control file and the SP file. Yes.
Okay.
And Emerald.
Yes.
Do you see the question? The first question when you said that the SP file was backed up twice.
Yes.
It was because the auto backup was on, and then on that question, when you say create a script for including the whole database, and then the SP file was included. I think that's why the SP file was backed up twice.
Which one?
On the first question.
Yes.
Because I heard somebody asking why the SP file was backed up twice.
Yes.
Yeah. Last time you said when you put the database on when you configure auto backup on, at the end you backed up the control file and then the SP file.
Right.
Automatically, right?
Yes.
So I think why we backed up the database, the whole database on question, I don't know if it was 3 or when you run the script, I think the SP file was included on the whole database.
Yes.
So that's why it was backed up twice.
Okay, if she had auto backup on, then yeah. But auto backup was not on the control file though. Let me see if she said it. control file auto backup is off, and
Oh, okay. I told her auto back. She configured the control file auto backup on, but she is off.
off. Okay, so in that specific case, for example, right, we don't have it from auto backup, which is perfect actually for practice. So we are going to go and check the name of the control. I'm just going to open another directory here. So we are going to go and check the name of the control file that we have in /ORA/data/78 back, right? We're going to check the name of the control file. What's the name? There we have it. There we have it here. Okay. So we are going to restore control file
Backup location.
from exactly. Then we put what to put the path. Finish restore. That was quick, right? So our control files are back. Now we can alter database mount. Can mount it. Now the last step is to restore the rest of the data files that we have, right? All of those. So let's go and try to take a look at /ORAData/TLS-DMO, see what it looks like. Okay. We don't have anything else. We only have assigned, it's empty. So restore control file, there was restore database mount, database mounted release channel. Okay. Now what we're going to do next is to restore the rest of the database. We are going to restore all the other data files. So we are going to use the same command we used last time. So today, I'm going to set it to, let's see the time when the backup ended, 1832. So I'm going to put it to 1833. Now there are some backups that are no longer available. This, you see, those system and CSOCs are no longer good, cannot be used. So I cannot use that backup because it's not consistent anymore. So I'm going to use a different point in time. 1730, so before class started. And I'm going to do a point in time recovery. So set until time, open double quotation, 2_date, then you put the name of the name, and then the format that you use, right? Then you restore and recover database. So let's run that. Are we good?
Camera.
Yes.
You say you are restoring before we started the class, right?
No, I'm saying that before we started the class, her database was fine at 17:30, at 5:30 p.m., right?
Yes.
Yes.
But by then you didn't have a backup of it. You didn't take the Alman backup.
She had a backup of her database, right? Amma knows that she had a backup of her database. You can restore your database with backup sets, you know that. It's just for switch to copy, specifically switch to copy that you can. Sorry. For switch to copy, you have to have data file copy. But to restore the database itself, you can use backup set. That's it, and we are done. Oh, that was so fast. So database is open now. So sometimes, because I changed the retention policy to redundancy 4. The problem that we had last time was the retention policy was redundancy 1. So the backup that would have allowed us to recover the database was basically gone because of the redundancy. That's why I changed the redundancy to 4. So if she select status from V dollar database instance, my bad.
So Meron, anytime
Database
we
is
want to do
open,
that,
so it's recovered. Yes.
before we want to do that, we must change the redundancy. Each time we want to do we want to
If you want to
recover
do that specific
point in time.
change or recovery window of 2 days at least, because the problem with redundancy one is as soon as you do a backup, the other one becomes obsolete. So you cannot do a point in time recovery if you delete obsolete and all of that, because Arman wouldn't have those backups anymore. Does it make sense? And the archive log would be gone too. Yes. So I like recovery window better than redundancy, to be honest. Okay, now database is open. And we have our redo back system example, but our control files are somewhere missing. Let me select name from V dollar. Really? Who put it there? Anyway,
You.
I didn't send them there. I didn't send them there.
And I wanted to ask that is that why you want a control file to be? I said, okay, let me just watch.
I didn't send them there. Okay, let me just bring them back to where they should be. Okay.
So it's just one control
I
file.
think we need to move them. Excuse me?
Is it? I'm seeing. Is there only one control file left?
Yes, it only has one control file. It didn't copy both the 2 control files.
Okay.
So alter system set control underscore files equals slash raw data slash TLS slash control 01.ccl. Same thing, but for 2 and 3 and 4, 2.ctl, then it's Makosa for 3.ctl. You had 4, right, Nacho?
I had just 2.
Oh, you had just 2. Okay, my bad.
Yes. I was like, wait, she give you all this control.
This one is not DB1, oh, that we have 7.
So this is another way to multiplex it, guys.
Yes.
No.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
by moving the location, right? Yes.
Just try this.
We are setting it, right? And we're going to scope equals SP file.
Miss Emma, I have a question.
Yeah.
No SP. Okay. Yeah. Create SP file. So it went actually to put the SP file somewhere very far. Okay. It put the SP file elsewhere. So when we let me see where it put the SP file.
Mm-hmm. Up.
'Yes. Doesn't show. Create SP file from P file. Okay, now let me issue that comment again. Prior to SP file requested, but no SP file in use. Okay, let me shut down immediate and then reuse the SP file to start up with the SP file.
Emara, but normally what you're trying to do, which is not going through, is that how it's supposed to be?
Yes, it is. Normally, it's not. Normally, she should have, when we restored the SP file and control file, for some reason, Arman sent it to a different location instead of sending it to where it should be.
So
Okay, her
if I
SP file is back. Let me
If
start.
I may ask, you might be working and another person, maybe your colleague is working and maybe he succeeds and maybe you don't succeed.
This morning we did it right. We didn't have that problem. But this morning we had another problem that we had to fix. So it depends on the database basically. Depends on what the person did previously to her database and stuff like that. So here, normally, when you restore with Arman send it directly where it's supposed to be. When you put restore SP file, the SP file is restored to the location. So let me see where it sent it to when you restore the SP file. You see, restore the SP file, it sent it to /home/DBS. So I think it has to do with the path itself. And when you restore the SP file, let's see where it sent it to. See, the SP file is here. It sent it to the right location. Restoring SP file, and it sent it there. Okay. Now let's start it since we didn't error identifying control file. So it actually applied it. Okay. Let's list the SP file. Let's view it first. Let's view the P file. Init tlsdmo.aura. Okay, it's changed. Okay. Now what we are going to do is simple. We are just going to move the SP file from one directory to where we want it to be. So we are going to move it from where it was earlier. We had it somewhere, right here. We are going to move it from here to, you know that the move command is used to rename the file and to move the file also to a different directory, right?
Right. Can you say that again, please? I didn't get you clearly, please.
That remove command is also it applies for both, like to rename and to remove.
I didn't say to remove. I said to move.
Move.
Bello, they said to move. You said to remove.
You are removing and you're putting it somewhere.
Like
anyway, it's probably my choice of word.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your choice. The problem is you have a problem with listening.
It's a choice I use anyway.
Okay, now I'm going to rename this. You see, we used it to move from one directory, but we are now using it to rename it by using the mv command. So we are going to and now we have a control 1 and our control 2, and we can.
No, just take it easy. Screw up. Let me see what you're doing, please.
Excuse me? What did you say? You want me to scroll up?
Yeah, I got lost.
Okay, where?
Okay, right there.
Where?
Who's the host now? There's too much noise.
Okay. I wanted to see if you had control 1. Okay, I see it.
Can you back?
What?
Are you gonna back?
I'm the host actually, so I can do many things at the same time. So I'm Koji, you'll be the host now.
Okay.
Be careful, my computer is inside.
Hey, you yourself, man.
It's inside the back.
Okay, now we can. Okay, now we can start up.
Why are you meeting everybody? Now Emerald is speaking, no one is here understanding. Yeah, that's laziness. If you want to be the host, have time to find.
Don't tell me what to do, miss.
You guys were telling me what to do the last time now. You will do what I'm saying.
I've already unmuted Emerald. Emerald.
Yes.
Okay.
Mute me
Okay,
back.
these two control files are no good. So I'm going to remove these control files. The database is shut down, and then I'm going to restore again using Arman. I'm going to restore the control file.
Emery, say the control files are not what?
Good.
Why do you say they are not good?
Because it's not good.
That's open.
Because it was saying that those control files are not compatible with this version. So
Yeah,
now I'm going to restore control.
To lock it. How do you lock it? There is a way.
Let me see. I'm pretty sure it's talking about with version, not incarnation, with version.
Okay, version.
Not compatible with the version. Okay. So I'm going to restore control file to oradata/oradata/tls demo. I'm going to name it control01.ctl. From now we are going to use the backup location that we used earlier for the control file. Now I need to specify that. Let's go to the backup location. So it's /oradata/78 back. Let's list it. Okay, there it is. The working directory. Okay, so I'm just going to add those one. Constraint, and then slash, and then control file. And to use that one. Oh, not connected to Oracle. Let me start at mount. Start at no mount. Connect that to Arman. Are you guys following?
Yes, ma'am.
Now the control file is all restored. Let's go and check in the live location.
Did you restore control file 1 twice?
No, only restore control file once.
Okay.
Okay, now we have control 1. Now we need control 2, right? So I'm going to restore control file, another control file, and I'm going to give it a different name. So I'm going to give it control 02 for the second control file that we have. 02.ctl from, I'm going to use the other one. You guys saw that there are 2 control files, right?
Yes.
I'm going to use the second one. The first one ended with HK, the other one with HC. Let's use that one. It can be used to stored. Now let's list it again. Okay, we have our 2 control files, right? Now let's mount the database. Alter database mount. Control file 1 inconsistent with the other one. Okay. So let me shut, it's already not mounted. So let me just exit and list it. They are not consistent, apparently. Arman didn't take them at the same time. So I'm going to remove one of the 2. I'm going to remove control 2, and I'm going to copy control 1, control 2. Alter database. Okay, Enter database. Let's use reset logs. Enter database. The file one verification check. I'm not understanding why they're not part of the same. This has to do with the SP file. Let me check that SP file. Create file. Now this is coming from the SP file. So let's cd2 Oracle _home/dbs. This is something that we did not say this morning, but something is wrong with the P file. Normally, we shouldn't have, for 11G, the compatibility should be set to 11.2.0.0. But it looks like in the dev file, the compatibility is set to 11.2.0.1 here. So Arman updated it. Arman updated it for some reason. And the thing is, when you cannot go back, you cannot go to previous compatibility, basically. You have to go either up, but you cannot go back to the data file version here is 11.2.0.1, but what we have for our control file is 11.2.0.0.0. So I'm not sure at what point it went from one version to the other. But in that case, this is something that we saw with upgrade. We'll see that when we'll be doing upgrade 11G and stuff like that. But let's go back to cd/aura data. And I think this is coming from the P file, from the SP file. Let me just go back to /aura data/tlsdmo. The database is inconsistent because the whole compatibility is off. So let me remove, I'm not sure what happened or how it happened. I'm trying to figure it out. Natu, do you have any idea?
No.
It's your database. Okay, let me see. Let me start. Restart another time.
It says my database, it was fine before you took it.
I'm thinking the backup might be
No,
the backup.
I think it's all those Arman backup and everything. I think that's what.
No, I don't think it's the backup because we did a point in time recovery to that time. And it's because we've been doing that. This is the first time we do it together, but it's the first time I'm seeing this.
Yeah, because I deleted some control file and I restored it. It didn't have any problem. So it's probably from what we are doing today.
Let me just do another point in time recovery. The problem is that the way, from what I see your Arman is doing, is that it's basically is giving it a different version. Instead of sticking to 11.0, it gives it a different compatibility. So let me try something first. Update the parameter file to 11, the other version, basically. Let me change it to a different version. This is what I'm going to do based on Oracle version 11. So I'm going to change it and see if it's going to fix the problem. I'm going to change the parameter compatible. That's something that comes to mind. So Oracle _home/dbs. Paste it, HVI, init, tlsdmo. So I'm going to change the compatibility to the new one. to save. Word.
But you deleted the files already.
Which files?
Everything.
I deleted everything.
Yes.
Let me just do it. Let me just open it and recovery then. At least I can start up. Start up, no mount. Let me just do another point in time recovery. Until recovery is before reset logs time. Okay. This is to a different incarnation. It was the time when we did it. It was when we just recovered the database. We didn't have a different backup.
It was 629. I think
629?
Yes. I think that was it when we started the first thing.
Database amount, destination, restore data file. Data file are missing. Input data file name. Data file are not there. Failure of restore command at 6. We cannot restore it time. I'm trying to find the time to do that.
So it's actually the time we took the backup, or it's actually the time the database was good?
What you saying?
I'm asking, you are setting the time as to when we did the backup or when the database was good.
This incarnation. So we had 2 incarnations today.
3.
Let me just reset database to incarnation. We're going to use
the last one.
That one. No, we cannot use the last one. The last one is the one we don't need. Incarnation. Okay, so we reset it to incarnation 4, and let's do open in time recovery now using that incarnation. I didn't change the time. Oh, my bad.
Oh, you didn't answer my question.
Yes, what's your question?
I'm saying the time you are setting the time as to when the database was good or when we did the backup.
I'm setting the time to a previous time when the database was good.
Okay.
Yes. And I changed the incarnation. And I want to restore the database. This is what I'm doing here. But the thing is that incarnation was started June 9th, and SCN, different ways to do it anyway. If this one doesn't work, then I'm going to restore database. Restore database until SCN, to use one of the SCN from here.
At 7.
At 7.
You didn't copy.
7.
What do you mean?
At 7, you added 8.
I know. I made it different. One SCN up. So there's no data file for that one. So I'm going to change the SCN until we have one that has the backup, basically. So I'm going to use another SCN. That one is too recent, so I'm going to use another SCN. Where is it? Okay, I'm going to change it.
Did you use the one that's end with 7?
The one that's when we started, basically. Let's see if it has it. It doesn't have it. That's when the reset log took place. So that's why I used the one after that. Okay, let me use 208 5000. We don't have backup of this. We don't have any backup of that. Let me just take a look again. Okay, it's log switch happens at 23,400. And our backup is set to redundancy. So now I'm looking for until SCN, by the SCN. Oh, the database is not mounted. Let me mount the database first. My bad. Restore control file.
Emerald,
Yes.
the way you were trying this the SCN numbers, how do you do, like, because you tried the first one, you say it wasn't it did not work, so you're trying another one, but you're changing the figures. So how do you do that? Are you just guessing or to
No,
change
I'm
the number?
changing the SP file, right, to the most recent until the most recent incarnation, right? So I know that when that incarnation was created, it was at 20,000 or 2,084,227. And then when we opened reset logs today, right, it was at 2,349,000. So I'm trying to go back because the retention policy is for redundancy 4, right?
Yeah.
So I'm basically trying to see until what point in time can I actually recover until what SC. So you saw that the first time when we used it, it says that no backup or copy of data file found to restore, right?
Yeah.
So the redundancy was past the time. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to go to the backup of this. Let me check the backup. Data /78 back. And let's list this. So this is a control file that we have here. Store control file to path. Is an working directory. Control file data. And we're going to put the path of the control file itself. You see that?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Mister.
Why didn't it create it the first time and put it in the right place the first time? You see, the two control files are here now.
And they are consistent.
Maybe because you changed the version. I don't know.
And they're consistent.
Now we're good. Now we're good. Just
No, it has nothing to do with it.
mount.
I did the exact same thing.
What?
Did you create SP5 from P5 already?
No, we have to.
We still have the same SP file that we had earlier. I didn't create SP file from P file, just to see. We are still using the same SP file. So the control file is restored. Let me just recover the database, the restore database until that STL.
You have not mounted.
Thank you.
Okay.
Need to be done with this whole assignment before. So sometimes Arman will just play games. Not sure why, but at least it's restored now.
Arman is a bastard.
Aman has a lot of privileges. Maybe we should take some.
But it's okay. It will do the point in time recovery. So sometimes this is what Oracle is like. Sometimes you might not have the answer somewhere, but you have to just figure it out. Like with my friend, there is something that some of his backups kept failing of one of the database, and their automatic backup with Enterprise Manager. So the backup had been failing for like 3 weeks, and they try everything. They try to change the password, they change the username, they change the password. Nothing, basically. The backups keep failing. So sometimes you might even ask Oracle, they might not know what the answer, they might not tell you what the answer is. So it's a lot of like detective work. So you figure things out. Yeah, like.
Of course, that's
But
why we
at
are
least
not,
if you like it, you won't be bored, right?
that's why we are not robots. We are meant to think.
Exactly. I actually like when we do things and we troubleshoot, because that's when you learn. When everything goes smooth, honestly, you don't learn much.
True.
Especially on egg guys. Take those like what we are doing here seriously though. Some people,
It's not every time we learn. Oh.
it's not every time you learn.
Yeah, now I'm here to learn. There are times I just want everything to go,
No, it's always, if you don't learn now, when will you learn at work? No.
That's why I'm in class now.
Right. I need to recover the database first. So recover database. Okay. So recovery stopped at sequence 18. Okay, so now the database is open and we can just continue. Okay, let's select name. First, let's select the status from $v instance. Open, select name. Where's Renalda? I've not, she's not here today.
Looks
Okay.
like.
Oh, that's unfortunate. $v control file. Number from $v log file. Okay, so we have all of our redo, control, and all of our data files, right? So, so since we just open reset log, we want to take a new backup of the database. So I'm just going to put the backup here on the side. Let me just execute the thing. I don't want to have to type it again. Really.
Emerald.
Yes.
I want to ask a question. I saw you restoring the database, the Journal database. Like, can you do like restoring the data files? Like, if you don't want to restore the database in general.
Yes, you can restore one data file at a time, right?
Yeah. So is it easier doing it, restoring the data? Is it advisable just restoring the database as a whole like you did, or you advise doing the other way around?
I'll take a point in time.
You mean, please, can you ask that question again?
You just explained something to me, right?
Yes.
So I'm asking, do you advise us doing like restoring the data files one after another, or you just advise us like restoring the whole database?
If the whole database is crashed and you need to recover all the files and restore all the files, then you have to do the whole database. But if you only have one corrupt file, then only do one. Because restoring and recovering the whole database takes a long time, a very long time if you're dealing with terabyte database, right?
All right.
Yes. So it depends on what you want to do. And also, even if one data file is corrupt, you don't want to just restore right away, but you want to switch to copy first, and then at night when you have less customers or when there is less traffic, right? That's when you would basically want to restore. So you don't want to restore the database at night or restore any data file in the morning, I mean. Okay, so now we just took the backup. Now let's move on to question 7. As your database is growing, it needs to be moved to a different location. Okay. Move the live location of the database to /data/more/space/TLS. Are we good?
Yep.
Okay, so
Emma, you are breaking.
I'm breaking.
Yeah, you are breaking. You're good now.
I'm good now. Okay, so those last, I mean, almost the whole assignment was coming from basically the database was growing, was really growing. It was a development database, so it was growing, and the place where the data files were could not handle the size of the database anymore. So the sysadmin found space in a different directory and told the DBA to send the files to that new location. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
So this is actually a real world example. So we are going to move the database from /oradata/TLSDMO to /oradata/more.
There she go again.
Are we
You're
good?
breaking up.
I'm breaking up.
Looks like.
Okay, let me.
You're
If
breaking
I'm
back and forth.
I'm going to try to connect.
Say 7-11.
Am I? Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Slightly.
Am I still breaking up? Okay, let me just try to connect with my phone and mute this. Maybe the computer is giving me issues. Hello, can you guys hear me now?
5 on
Yes, we
5.
can.
Okay. So we are going to move the live location to /oradata/more/space/TLS. So the first thing we want to do is to create the directory, right?
Right.
Where is it? There it is. So mkdir minus pv. Okay. So the first thing we are going to do is to move the control files because that's what we are used to, we are familiar with. Right?
Yep.
Okay. So the command is
Alter
system set control underscore files equals open strings. Now we are going to send them to the new location, right?
Correct.
And we are going to name them control01.ctl and control02.ctl. Control02.ctl. Scope equals SQ5. Okay. What's the next step?
Shut down immediate.
All right. This one won't take long because we are just going to literally just move the files instead of, okay, instead of copying, right? So we are going to move all the files that end with CTL. We are going to move them to /oradata/more space/TLS.
Just like that.
Just like that.
Okay. So create SP5 from P5. No, you're not talking.
Can you guys hear me?
No.
Just now.
Well, you said no, but it means that you could hear me if you said no. Okay. Now system01.dbf. So this is what we are going to do for all the files basically. So we are changing the location of each one of them. So after the build rename file from system, and then we'll do the same thing for CSOX and for all the other ones. Okay. So let's do it for system first. Copy. Oh, I didn't move them, my bad. Let me move them first. Okay, let's list. Okay, let's move all the files that end with DBF to /oradata/TLS. Okay, now all the DBFs are gone, right? Let's connect back to SQL. Actually, okay, let's connect back to SQL.
Emma, you want to remove the log?
Excuse me?
You want to keep the
No, I will move the logs. For next time we'll be doing the assignment, I won't move the logs. But for in this case, I will leave the logs there. I will move the logs. But I just wanted us to do first the control file, then redo log, then system, the database data files basically, and then Redulogs files, right? I wanted us to do them separately. Non-existent. CSOX. So that's not the name of the CSOX. Okay, it's just CSOX.dbf. So let me just change the name. Always read your errors, right? Instead of panicking, sometimes just by reading the error, you have the error fixed. Okay, here it's saying.
You changed just one of the syslocks, am I right? You didn't change the other one, or am I mistaken?
No, it doesn't matter. It's saying that Radita's CSOX 01. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
That's okay. Let me rename it. I'm going to go and rename it there. Because I want the name to be CSOX 01. So I'm going to cd to that directory /oradata/tls and list it. And I'm going to rename it from CSOX.dbf to CSOX01.dbf. .dbf. Are we good? So I renamed it. I'm good. I can go back to where I was, /oradata/tls demo and connect back to SQL. And then I can use this command. Okay. So I'm going to do the same thing for users. I'm going to replace these with users. Same for this one too. Okay. So you just do the same thing for the whole thing. Okay, and the next one is going to be temp. Same thing. Copy, paste. Undo is done, users is done, system is done, CSOX is done. Now let's do quit and prod. And prod. So I'm just going to put prod.
I have 2 dbf in front. Up.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Prod example. I'm going to change it with example. I'll just run the whole thing at this point. No time to waste. Okay, example, and here too, example. Okay. And then dev 01. Let's replace this too. And here dev 01 as well. Okay. So let's run this one first. Okay. Okay. So we rename all the way till dev, then the last one is demo. So demo and then demo. Okay. Now, select name from the $data file. Undo was not moved.
Yep, I told you.
You didn't move undo? I didn't move undo. I thought I did. Okay. Let me just undo TBS and undo TBS. Okay. Okay, let's check undo now. Okay, undo is moved. The control files, select name from $, control file. Control files are moved. One last thing is select member from $, log file. Okay, they are still there. So we are basically doing the same thing for the redo logs. So we are also going to rename, but I like to make it different because they are not the same types of files.
You've not moved it.
Excuse me?
You have not moved it to the physical directory, to the
Yes, I've not moved it. That's
Yeah.
what I'm doing. I'm going to do. Yes. So redo. And then I'm going to copy those to the next line. Two here, 3, 3, and 2.
It's not redo.log.
Thank you. That's why I was about to fix. Log.
As the DBA, you have to be patient.
Exactly, very patient. Log.
Always read before execute.
Even before cheating on your wife, you need to be patient.
Okay, I didn't move them first. That's actually the thing. Let me move them. Oh, but the error can give you also the informations you need. Okay, let's move those to this directory. /ora data. Okay, paste it. Okay, her assignment is left here, so let's cd it to this directory. Paste it. Okay, the redos are here. Okay, now we can move the redos now. Okay, and then we can open the database. Alter database, open.
It wasn't open?
No, it was mounted.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be mounted, but as soon as you restore system and undo, you can for the other ones, it can be online. They don't have to be shut down, basically. So the database is open and we are done with question 7. After the database is growing, it needs to be moved to another. Okay, now we are going to do question 8. This is the last question. And then we'll take a break and then we come back to do the backup based application.
So it's going to stay on that location now?
Yes. For practice, you can move it back. Right, Natu?
Okay.
Matu. Matu.
I said Natu, I didn't say Matu.
No.
That's the way Prof called me.
Yeah.
Okay. Question 8. Some of your backup jobs have been failing due to space issues. Using Arman, move the default backup location to /ora data /more space /fastrec and add it as a second file destination to your database. So the first thing you want to do is to create this location, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is, we want to create it, exit Arman, mkdir -pv. So in this case, we have a new place where we have a new directory where we have more space for our backup and our archive logs information. So we want to send some of our backup to that new location. So we are going to use Arman to change the default destination. Are we good? By default, Arman would send the job to /oradata/FRA and your backup. So what we are going to do is let's show all. Okay. Let's take a look at the parameters that we have here. So configure default device type to disk. We know that disk is in comparison with tape, right? So in our case, we don't have any other option. The only option here is disk. And here it reads configure device type disk parallelism 1, backup type to backup set, right? So when we specify it to parallelism 1 or to parallelism 2, it means that you can have different locations where you want to send your backups to. Here, when we say configure data file backup copies for device type to disk to 1, it means that it's the first one that we have, right? Meaning /oradata/FRA is the recovery destination that we have by default. Is the only one that Arman has. Are we good? Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
So here when it says configure data file backup copies for device type disk to 1, it means that it's going to /oradata/FRA. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we want to change it. We don't want them to go to /oradata/FRA anymore, but we want them to go to /oradata/morespace/fastrec, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we are going to do is to configure this channel 1. The channel 1, when it set disk to parallelism 1, you know that it allocates one channel, right?
Mm-hmm.
One permanent channel. Okay. So we are going to convert that channel 1 to change it so that it wouldn't go to /oradata anymore, but to /oradata/FRA, but to /oradata/morespace/fastrec. So device type is still disk, right? And then we are going to specify the format of where we want our backups to be sent to. Let me copy this. Format, open strings, %U. Okay, now the new backup location for Arman, by default, instead of sending the backups to /oradata/FRA, it would send all the new backups to /oradata/morespace/fastrec. Are we good?
Yep.
We are going to check it later when we'll be doing the cloning. So using Arman, move the default backup location to, okay, we're done with that, and add it as a second file destination in your database. So you want to connect to SQL, and we are going to change. I'm going to show parameter all, show parameter dest. Okay, so here we basically have everything that has dest inside, and you have the DB recovery file dest, which is in /oradata/FRA. And then we want to add a second log archive destination, right? So you cannot have log archive destination and DB_recovery_file at the same time. You want to set one or the other. But however, right, you can have the log_file dest_n. N is for any integer, right? You can have it here. And at the same time have the DB recovery file destination. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to change it to the one that we just created. So alter system set, system is misspelled. Alter system set. I can make it anything I want. It can be 1, it can be 2. So I'm just going to make it _1. This one, _1 equals open strings. We specify the location equals. Now let's put it the location that we have. Hopefully it's right. No, it's not it. Where is it? Okay, here we have it. Okay, slash Oradata slash more space slash fast-rec, close the strings, scope equals both. Okay, system altered, right? So if I show parameter dest, I can see that the second file destination is now in slash Oradata slash more space slash fast-rec. And I'm going to create p file from
quick question.
yes, yes, sure.
So is this the backup location or what?
Is a new, you're adding a new archive log location to your database.
Oh, the new archive log location.
Yes.
So it will no longer be in our data slash.
No, it is. It's just that here it's a new, but it's another backup location, basically.
Okay.
Are we good?
Okay, cool.
Okay. Let's say as a DB, right? Some of the location fail. Let's say you back up to directory and it starts failing because of space issues and you don't have any other place to send the archive logs to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it would just keep failing like that. And it would take you a long time. I mean, unless you find that on time. So it's always good to add a second location in case one location gets full or something like that happens. And it can get full really fast. So we are good, right?
Sure.
So that was it from question 1 to 8. Let's take a break, a 20-minute break. And then let's come back to do the Arman cloning, backup-based duplication. And then we'll be done for today.
You know, by that time the network will really be bad. Why don't you do it now?
Can you guys do it now? I can do it now and we finish the class at 9. I don't mind that.
Yeah,
We are going
let's
for
do it.
Really?
The network
we are going for break.
The network will be bad.
It'll be slow, so.
Yeah, it will be slow.
We can just take 20 minutes. It doesn't take long to do Arman duplication. Trust me, guys.
Okay.
Honestly, it's something that's done in like 20 minutes. Are we good?
The timer have started.
Okay. So see you guys at 8:40.
I thought you said you want to do it.
Come on, now.
Some people are arguing they don't want to do it.
Just do it, Emma.
No, I was the one, but you said that it's going to take us like 20 minutes. That's why I'm saying that I started your timer.
We might have errors. So anyway, let's just come back in 20 minutes. I'm already ready to take a break anyway.
You see? It's not
Let's
like
just base duplication is. Anyone can tell me from last class? At least you have an idea. Please say it again. I said, you remember from last class on Friday what a backup-based duplication is? Any idea? I forgot.
Like without
Backup-based duplication.
Cloning.
The source database.
Cloning of the database.
Yeah, it's the cloning of the database. So basically, Arman will back up the database.
We can't hear you. You're far away.
You guys can hear me?
Now you can.
Far away.
Okay, let me just connect to my other phone then, to my phone. Okay, hello.
Yes,
Okay, so I was saying that a backup-based duplication, right? So it's basically like card cloning, except that Arman is doing it for you, right? Arman is using the backup to clone the database. The backup that you did with Arman to clone the database. Are we good?
Yeah.
So this is basically backup-based duplication. It's just cloned with Arman. So what are some of the steps that you need to have? So instead of creating TLS test, we are creating TLS DMO2. So we are going to replace test with TLS DMO2. Okay. First step. What's the first step when we create, when we clone? The first step is to create the directories, right? ADAM and the live location. So in that case, we are going to create both, but we don't need to create TLS DMO /FRE/TLS DMO, and we are only going to create ADAM and /OIDA/TLS DMO. FRA would, Arman would take care of creating everything else. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we are going to create these two. I'm just going to create these two because the time. So I'm going to create ADAM and TLS DMO. Hope everybody is following. Okay, so we have our 3 directories created. Now, what's the next step is to edit Aura tab. That's your script, guys. This is the DB2 evening script. So that's your script. So, and then we are going to edit the Aura tab and TNS names, right?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, so this is very, very, very important step. The TNS name is a very important step. Let's first edit Aura tab. So vi/etc/Aura tab. Insert. TLS DMO2. Okay. Okay. So we are done with Aura tab. Now let's go to fix the TNS name. So cd oracle _home /network/admin list, and that's vi TNS name.aura. Okay, and we are going to change. Okay, we don't have TLS DMO here, or do we? Okay, we do. Okay, we don't have TLS DMO. Okay, so we are going to add TLS. Okay, we have TLS DMO. So we are going to copy TLS DMO. There is an extra here. No, okay, it's the whole thing. Okay. So I'm going to put it all the way down for TLS DMO2. And paste it. TLS DMO2. And the other one, TLS DMO2. Always make sure it's your host name and the right port. Okay, so we are done with this. When you add a TNS name like this, you want to stop the listener, start the listener. Okay, let's do it. Okay, so the first step, we created the relevant directories, right? Then we edited Aura tab and then TNS name, right?
Right.
So when you do that, right, what you want to do is that after that, you stop the listener. Let's name it step 3. You stop the listener, you start the listener, right? and then you check the listener. Actually, let me just put check listener here. It would make more sense. So you check the listener, basically. Then you stop it, then you start it, and then you check it again. So in the listener, you should have all your databases. You should have ARCAT, TLSDMO, and TLSDMO2. You should have the recovery catalog database. You should have the target database, and you should have the auxiliary database. So listener, CTL, status. Okay, you see that here we don't have TLSDMO2, right? We only have TLSDMO and ARCAT. So I'm going to stop the listener and see if the other one is going to be added. So you stop the listener. Sometimes even if you add it to Aura tab, to the TNS name.aura, unless you stop the listener and start it, it basically won't go through. Okay, good. So let's start the listener. Okay, now I'm going to check the status again. Sometimes it's good to wait a little bit until it shows. Here it says the listener supports no service. So for that one, it takes a little bit patience until it ends up showing the databases. So here, let's wait for the listener to start seeing it. But we stopped it and we restarted it. So let's move on to step 3. Create P file of target database from SP file. So let's connect to SQL.
Please, I have a question.
Sure.
So why is it that I know PMON is in charge of registering the databases, or do we have to create it first, create the database before that will happen? I don't understand why we have to like check the listener, stop it and start it. Well, in other, like with different other types of clonings, we don't have to do that.
Yes, because for different type of cloning, you don't need a listener to connect to RMAN.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is just to connect to RMAN. Okay.
Yes.
Got it. All right.
Okay. So database is open, right? Now we are going to create the SP file. Okay. So we are going to create a P file. Create P file equals open string, this is our sign, Oracle, underscore home, /DBS. I'm following your script to do it, but usually I would have created a P file first and then, but it's okay. So /Oracle home /DBS /init TLSDMO2.aura from SP file. SP file. Okay. So we are done with the P file. Now we are going to go to WinSCP and edit the P file. WinSCP. Okay, student 144. So for the P file, it's definitely best to go directly check it on, okay, let's see. User 1. Okay, DBS. How come I can see DBS?
Emerald, tap DBS.
I did, and I couldn't see it. Okay, so init TLSDMO2.aura. Okay, so I'm going to change TLSDMO to TLSDMO2, replace all. What else do we need to change?
location of your control files.
All right. Okay, that looks about right. So we change it and we make sure that the control files are pointing to the new target location, right?
Right.
So we are done with the P file. Edit the P file, create trace control file. We don't need to do that. That part is gone. Edit, we don't need to do that. User manage backup, we don't need to do that. Begin backup, all of this, we don't need that part. Remove all the control files, we don't need that part. Copy archive logs, we don't need that part. Connect to target database, create P file from SP file, remove it. All of this, we don't need that. So this is, we have less steps, true. Oh, actually, let me go back to the P file. I forgot to put something. So there's one thing important that we need to add in the P file. We need to add DB file name convert and DB log convert, log name convert. So we are going to add 2 new parameters that Arman will use to recreate the files and to move the files from one directory to the other, basically. So I'm going to use DB. There are 2 parameters. The first one is DB underscore file underscore name underscore convert equals open strings slash aura data slash, wait, what was the live location in the first place? Okay, in that case, that's when you want to, let me exit, connect to Arman. I could have done that here too, but I want to do it on Arman. I'm going to report schema. Okay, so just report schema. Okay, so you want to connect to Arman and check report schema, to check the schema, all the schema that you have before editing the P file actually. So you want to report schema, and then you create the P file and then you edit the P file so that you know where the live location, where all your files are for the main live location. So you have all of them are in slash aura data, slash more space, slash TLS, right? So in your P file, that's what you want to edit. You want to put slash aura data, slash more space, slash TLS, right? That's the live location of TLS DMO now, right? And you want to send it to slash aura data, slash TLS DMO2. Are we following?
Yes,
so that slash aura data, slash TLS DMO2 would become the new live location, would be the live location of the clone database. Any question? Meaning that if we had redo log files in slash aura data, slash TLS DMO, and we had the other database files in slash aura data, slash more space, slash TLS, we would put here the first one. It means you convert the file, all the files. Arman will know which files are part of the database and which files are not. So it does not matter if you have some data files that belong to one database and some other data files belonging to a different database, right? As long as you put the directory where there are files belonging to the database, Arman would know which files are which files belong to that database that needs to be duplicated, right? So in that database, that specific one, we only had slash aura data, slash more space, slash TLS as live location, right? But we might have had system in one, CSOX in another, or control files in another. In that case, right, you want to specify all the data files, all the live locations. Let's say if we have system in that one and we had CSOX in another or control files, you would simply put
slash URA data slash more space slash TLS, right? Close strings, comma, slash URA data slash TLS DMO2. And if we had files in slash URA data slash TLS DMO, we would simply put the strings, would simply put slash URA data slash TLS DMO, close the strings, comma, open strings, slash URA data slash TLS DMO2 again. Are we good?
Oh, okay.
If doing this, that's like if the other database had the
Yes.
separate
Yes. Yes. If the database has files in different directories, exactly.
So this command now is like making the
It's a parameter.
different directories to come to the TLS DMO2.
Right. It's telling Arman, because Arman uses that PIFA, right? That is that PIFA. It's telling Arman that all the files belonging to the database that is being duplicated, you move them from that space to slash URA slash TLS DMO when you create the duplication. Are we good?
Yeah.
This is a parameter, right? The name of the parameter is DB file name convert, as database file name convert. So the database files, they are converted basically when it's being duplicated from this directory to that directory, right?
Right.
And from that directory to that directory, right? So all the files in that directory that belong to TLS DMO are going to be duplicated into slash URA data slash TLS DMO2, right?
Okay.
And it's the same here. All the files belonging to TLS DMO that are located in slash URA data slash TLS DMO will be duplicated into slash URA data slash TLS DMO2. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I want to ask a question, please.
Go ahead.
What in the case like if you you forgot to change them to slash URA data slash TLS DMO2? Can you do that after you're done?
No, it will fail. The
All right.
application will fail. If you don't put it, it will fail. Or what it would do too is it would keep it in the same directory, basically, and which would fail your duplication because it cannot create two files that have the same name. Okay. Now the second thing is for the log files. So instead of DB file name converts, it's log underscore file underscore name underscore convert. And we do the same thing. We know that all of our ready log files are located in slash URA data slash more space slash TLS, right? So we are literally doing the same thing here. Log file name convert, DB file name convert, and we're good. So these are the two new parameters that you need to make sure you have. That one can give you headache. This active-based duplication and backup-based duplication, many people didn't pass their DB2 exam because of that. So it's something that if I can give you an advice, practice that a lot. A lot. You might be lucky the first time, but the second time you might not be lucky if you don't know what you're doing. So make sure that you run into all types of possible errors so that whatever error comes, you're ready for them. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, please.
Practice, please. You say we should practice something where?
On Friday, on Wednesday, one of you will be practicing it and I won't be the one doing it. I will tell you what to do if you're stuck, but you guys have to do it. That one, honestly, it's not by chance. If you really don't know what you're doing, even the error won't help you. Even if you Google the error, like if you really don't know what you're doing. So that one, it's really practice. That cloning, that's the hardest part of DB2, to be honest. That active duplicate, it's very simple. If you understand, very, very simple. If you don't understand, it's very hard. It's going to be a nightmare.
The cloning are just too much. This cloning, that cloning, what cloning, good. Aye, massa.
It's not even the last cloning.
Emerald.
Yes.
On your script, we didn't create FRA, right?
No, we don't need to of that.
So why do we have the DB recovery file that's in the P file?
Where do we have DB?
So where is the other archives are going to go?
Okay, what's the name of this directory? /oradata/FRA, right?
Yeah.
It already exists, right?
Yes. But do we need to create you don't need to create a TLS DMO2 in that directory?
Why?
To put all the archives logs?
No, we don't have that step here. You saw that I removed that step where we copy the archive logs, right?
Mm.
Arman does it. You don't need to create a new directory. You just leave it like that.
Okay.
You good? The reason why we create archive logs, the /oradata/FRA/TLSDMO2 or TLS twin, it was simply because we needed those archive logs to do recovery database. But in that case, we don't need those archive logs to do any recovery.
Okay.
Very good. Okay. So those two, we will do more practice. I will give you guys. I mean, I want you guys to first do that way, like when you only convert from one file to the other, only one like this, from one location to another. And then we'll do this type where you have your redo in one, you have your control file in the other one, you have your stuff in the other one, and then so that you guys will be very accustomed to DB file name convert. I think this is the assignment for this weekend. Just 2 or 3 clonings and that's it. Okay. So DB file name convert, log name convert. Log name convert is for the log files and DB name convert is for the other files. Are we good?
No, there's another cloning coming. Oh, this is the last one.
It's not the last one. There is another, there is active base. This is backup base. There is active base too. We'll do that on Wednesday.
All right.
So what does active base, what do you do on that one?
Active base is not based on, it doesn't use any backup. It uses the live database.
Okay.
It literally directly clones the other database without using any backup. It uses the live database, the other live database, the target database, right?
Okay.
Okay. By target, I mean the database that Arman connects to create the auxiliary database. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. So DB file name convert, log file name convert. We are good. Now we can move on to do the rest. Okay, so that's basically the only tough part. But okay, if you want, you can back up, but you should have a backup. Let me just put that here. Even before step 1, you should have an Arman backup. So you should have
Step 0.
I'll
just say step 0.
That's step 0 because it's not really part of it. But let me put it as step 0. You should have an Arman backup. It doesn't matter what type of backup it is. It can be image copy, can be backup set. It doesn't matter, right? So you should have an Arman backup. It doesn't matter, image copy, backup set, it doesn't matter. Arman will still create it from you. Okay, create P file or SP file. We are done with that. Edit P file, we are done with that. So step 4 is done.
You have not added what you did to the script. Changing the
oh, thank you, sir. Let me, the 2 parameters, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let me add those. Copy. That thing, I can only tell you practice. That's the only advice I can give you for that. All types of errors can come from left, right. Sometimes it's the listener, sometimes it's the memory, sometimes it's the recovery catalog. Sometimes the recovery catalog owner has an issue that needs to be like, honestly, this one is just practice and troubleshooting. If you, that one, I will actually help you. If you have an error with this and you contact me, I will help you with that, because I know that you guys can spend a lot of time on it. But once you know how to fix it, make sure that you document it somewhere. Don't assume that, okay, I just know it, that's it. No, document all your mistakes. Okay, so we are done with editing the P file. Okay, now I want to check the listener. I want to check the listener. Listener CTL status. Ready. Okay, I'm going to connect to TLS DMO2. Aura TLS DMO2. Okay, I'm connected to TLS DMO2. I'm going to start up, no mount. That one, the instance needs to be started and that's it. Arman only needs to know, to see that the instance is started, nothing else. So never start up mount. I mean, you cannot even. Okay, so listener status again. Okay, it's showing TLS DMO2 and it shows status blocked. That's normal, right? Because it's not created yet. Are we good?
Wait, so first you check the listener and then what did you do next? You connected.
Startup no mount. Yes, startup no mount. Connect to target database. Let me put startup no mount. Startup no mount. Okay. And then I check the listener again. Listener status. Check listener again. We good? So the first
number 3. So all you did was you checked the listener and then you stopped
the
it
listener
and
and I
then you
restarted
started
the
it
listener.
again.
Yes, I stopped it. I started because you want to have RCAT, TLS DMO, and TLS DMO. You want to have the 3 of them up at the same time, right?
Okay. But it looked like, so at number 3, when you started it, was there, I don't think TLS DMO2 was in there.
TLS DMO was not there. It's when I start up no mount and then I checked that it was there.
Oh,
But
okay.
you have to stop. The reason why, I mean, I use your script to do that, right? But the reason why you want to stop the listener and start the listener is because it gives you time. So that as soon as you will start up that database, start up mount that database, start the instance, the listener would pop up directly, because sometimes it might take a while for the listener, for you to actually see the status of the listener, even though it can actually read that database. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Emma, the question.
Yes, sir.
I don't see you create the SP file from the P file. You did it?
Excuse me?
I don't see you in the step.
I did it. I did it. That was, yeah, we did it. That was step 4. Actually, on step 5. Yes, we did it. We'll do it again. We'll do it again. No worry, guys. We'll do it again.
I think he's trying to ask create SP5 from P5 from what I see. After 5 on.
We did it. Create P file of target from. Do you need a
talking about the SP
number
file.
5. Create
Number
SP
5.
file from P file.
The SP file from P file. That's not see.
After connecting to target database.
Oh no, I've not done it.
Because I saw you start up no mount. That's what I'm asking. Yeah. I saw you put it.
I started it with the P file, but Arman will create it. So even that step is not mandatory in this case. Arman will create the SP file.
Okay.
Are we good? Yes, that step is not mandatory in that case. Okay, so you check the listener. And then once we are done, we are going to connect to Arman. So Arman target equals, put the pass. Oh, I forgot one step, very important. Let me name it step 5. Copy the password file of source database to target, right? So that's it's a very simple step, but forgetting it might put you in trouble and headache for no reason. So we have the password file. Okay, CD, DPS, list. Okay, so I'm going to make a copy of this password file. Okay, problem solved. Now I'm ready to connect to Arman, right? This is a very important step. Copy password file.
Like,
right?
You created a new password file?
Yes. You don't see it here?
When did you do that? When did you do that? I just saw you here.
That's why I asked, because the copy command is also to create, guys. You copy the
I just did it like right here. CP
Yes.
or at PW. Okay, let me just paste it here.
Oh, you were so fast.
What?
I was like, you were showing something at the point in time. I just heard you said, all right, we created. I was like, what?
He went really fast.
Okay, my bad. Okay, it's created. It's created. So now let's connect to Arman, right? It's because I'm checking the time and I don't want it to get slow.
Yeah, it gets slow soon.
So Arman target, you want to connect to sys password, don't take one. And you want to specify the name of the target database, right? We are connected to the target database here, right? Which is TLS DMO, right? Don't get this one mixed up. That's why let me even type it again. We are connected to Arman, right? We specify the target database. Here, the target database is the database we are cloning from, right?
Okay.
The sys user, his password is Brontek1, right?
Right.
And the name of the target database or the source database is TLS DMO, right? Now, we have the target database. We need the auxiliary database as well, right? Auxiliary. Now you want to specify the information of the auxiliary. But considering the fact that we are already connected to the auxiliary database, are you following?
Yes.
We are already connected to the auxiliary database, which is TLSDMO2. You can just put /. That's it, right? And then you're connected to the auxiliary database. Now you can use catalog. You connect to the catalog database, which is Arman Brontek1 at Arman Brontek1 at you specify arcat. Are we good? Let me copy that and paste it here. Enter. Okay, now we see TLSDMO is open. arcat is open. Auxiliary database is not mounted. That's good. This is how what it's true. This morning we had some errors because of memory issue that we have to face memory issues. So I don't really like when we do this without running into errors because this comes with a lot of errors usually. I mean, usually.
I don't really like it.
Yes.
Please, from here, just take it slowly because my buffer cache is already almost full.
Okay, don't worry. It's the last comment that you are going to type.
Okay, slowly though.
So duplicate target database. So you don't have to connect to the source to the
auxiliary database.
The auxiliary database, right? You don't have to. Actually, it's best to just use target and auxiliary this time instead of target and source. So in this case, you don't have to connect to the auxiliary database. You can do it from the target database as well, right?
We know.
Even from, yes?
Like why you must not connect to the target database?
I'm saying you don't have to. In this case, it's however you want to connect, right? But in this case, I'm connected to the auxiliary database because I need to mount the database and I didn't want to go and connect to another database, right? Since I was already connected. So that's why I just use auxiliary. But you will understand that if you connect to the auxiliary database, you will need to specify sys Brontech1 at TLSDMO2. So it would be the opposite, right? Okay. So you want to duplicate a target database, which is TLSDMO to TLSDMO2. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to specify the backup location.
Okay.
You want to specify the backup location, and where is the backup location? It's /oradata /whatever /more space. Okay, let me just, I think it's somewhere around there. No, that's not the backup location.
Yes.
I think it's here. No. I don't have the backup location. Let me see. Okay, I need to pull out the assignment 7 and 8. Okay, this is the backup location. This is where our backups are. Okay. Right? So this is where we are going to get the backup from to duplicate. And then we specify no file, name, check.
No, I have a question.
Sure.
What are you duplicating? What to what?
Really?
Yeah, from what?
It's actually duplicating the target.
We are duplicating TLSDMO to TLSDMO.